TFNN. Headline News Update.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. 2 hours left to go in the trading day. And we got a market in both directions right now. The S&P is positive by 5 points, trading at 34.86. Talk about a dive lower. We made it in the futures within about a point and a half of 3,500. And then just like that, we gave up 35 points in a heartbeat. We're now a solid 20 points off the lows in the S&P. I got the chart up here on a 5-minute basis. We make a high in the futures in the S&P of 34.9825 at about 11 a.m. Eastern Time. The dive lower begins about an hour later at about noon Eastern Time from 34.96. You trade down to a low intraday of 34.74, and just like that, we're trading higher at 34.86 in the S&Ps. NASDAQ 100 futures trade lower as well. Negative territory right now, off about 50 points. We trade from 12,046 all the way down to 11,840. You're talking about 200 points in the manner of basically an hour from noon till 1 p.m. And just like that, we're up solidly, up another 100 points to 11,942. The Dow, 28,503. We were up there at 28,590. You trade down to a low in the Dow of 28,311. We're up about 200 points from that point. The Dow, basically right where you began 2020. Pretty remarkable with everything else going on. Gold contract with some volatility today. How about that spike, folks? We trade higher on Powell starting his statement this morning up to 1987, and just like that, we dive to a low of 1914. Gold settling at about 1935 right now. Silver contract, pretty similar action. We trade higher to 28.19, dive lower to a low intraday of 26.70. You got silver trading at 27.23, and jumping around to notes and bonds. The 10-year, look at that volatility. Negative by 9 ticks at 138.28. You got the 30-year off a full point and 20 ticks at 174.28. And all the volatility having to do with Chairman Powell announces a new Fed approach to inflation that could keep rates lower for longer. It gets into it. That means the central bank would be more inclined to allow inflation to run higher than the standard 2% target before hiking interest rates. I would say rates are staying lower for a long time, folks. They are not going to be worried about this inflation, it seems. In addition to the inflation change, the Fed shifted its approach to employment in a way that will focus on those at the lower end of the income spectrum. We also got weekly unemployment, weekly initial jobless claims coming in at 1 million, the 22nd out of 23 weeks. Stay tuned, folks. Dave White coming up live at 2. Tom O'Brien, my dad, coming up live at 3. We'll be right back.